back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I'm doing something a little bit different in that I'm focusing on some of my critics, or I should say my guests and respondents who've had the opportunity to view some of the videos that I'm shooting on the Immersive Worlds Handbook page for YouTube. If you know about my work, I created the Immersive Worlds Handbook as an opportunity to focus on themed and immersive spaces in a practical sense, and followed up with that with this new reader, a reader in themed and immersive spaces, which includes contributions of many authors, designers, researchers from around the world. And one of the things I started to do in this particular book was to think about opportunities to, in a sense, act out some of the things I'm writing about or studying in this audiovisual sense. So obviously if I visit a themed or immersive space, I have the opportunity to shoot some video like I'm doing today and to share that with you, the viewer. And one of the cool things is that you as viewers get to, in that little comment bar at the bottom of YouTube, respond and give your opinions and your viewpoints about some of the videos I've shot, some of the footage, or even some of the interpretations that I give you as far as being an author and individual who studies these types of spaces. Now I fully realize that even though I have a YouTube page that I think has had significant number of views, I'm nowhere near, say, the fame of Miley Cyrus and her videos on YouTube, nor all the ubiquitous, cute, fluffy dogs that also get featured on YouTube. Now, one thing that is clear is that some people do watch my videos and they like to offer comments about some of the videos. Now, one of the interesting things right now is that this particular video I'm focusing on today, which is at the Horton Plaza Mall in San Diego, California, for some reason has attracted the most number of, not views, but comments on the actual page. So I wanted to share some of those comments with you, and then in particular focus on two comments that I think are ones that maybe need some explanation or some dialogue back with you, the viewers, who maybe are interested. So I thought I would just share some of these with you. Again, my curiosity always is, why are so many people interested in Horton Plaza in this particular mall? Now, if you know anything about the mall, and I'll share some of the footage with you here today, it's a very iconic one. Some would say postmodern in terms of its architectural design, the sight lines that you get as you walk through the space. And so, you know, that could be one reason that people maybe are interested in this particular mall, but as they go through these, you maybe see some other different reasons for this. So the first one offered here about Horton Plaza, and the video I shot is just simply, you gotta love. And so clearly some people just enjoy the mall for what it is. Others are somewhat nostalgic about it. This individual writes, I remember when every time I went to go eat Panda Express, people would get attacked from birds. So clearly the person has a memory of this mall and eating the ubiquitous chain Panda Express and maybe getting attacked by birds. This person comments that they took most of the water fixtures out, and that's one of the things you often see is that if I visit a space, over time it changes and people are somewhat nostalgic for what the space used to be like, and so you get that sense of change happening over time as individuals reflect on the particular space. Next here is Edwin NYC. He says here, when I visited San Diego from New York City in 2014, I was able to visit Westfield Horton Plaza and loved it. If I had more time, I would have spent more time here. I actually only went in because of Jimbo's, so another food place that's mentioned. Here's another comment. Horton Plaza needs to be rescued from Westfield Corporation and brought back to a local ownership that appreciates the uniqueness of this amazing space. One of the things you realize in looking at these spaces that sometimes people don't agree with the direction that's being taken. Say if the place is bought out by one corporation and they take it in an entirely different design direction or service direction or whatever, and that's what this person is reflecting on. Another one here, I spent a lot of time at Horton Plaza in the 90s while visiting friends and family in the Marines in Oceanside. Man, I miss that mall. It was beautiful indoor-outdoor experience and plenty of pretty girls to holla at, if I said that right, the colloquial. Laugh out loud, Mission Beach was awesome too. So, a lot of the spaces I study, people have very fond memories and they speak about them, and I think that's an exciting thing about offering these videos to you. If you shoot your own videos from a fan's perspective as well, we get to, I guess, experience these spaces in different ways and reflect upon them. And really what these comments show, and anytime I shoot a video, of course, you see people walking around in the video, and unintentionally I get those folks, sometimes in my footage. That shows you the life of the space that I'm studying, and it's part of what I think gives an embodiment to these various themed and immersive spaces. Now, there are two comments in particular I do want to focus on, because these are the ones I think that are most critical, and I think if I explain a little bit about what they're concerned about, that might give you also a better sense, not just about Horton Plaza, but about really what I'm trying to do in these videos in terms of offering them to you. So here are those two I will read for you. The first is from Sylvia English. She said here, or he, who knows, right? I mean, these are just avatars or names that people have. I don't know if that's a real person's name, but this person said, I wanted to see the structure and design of the mall, but I just saw the guy's face. Boring, with an exclamation mark after it. The next one, similar. This is from Shirt Shine 73 Blitz, kind of a mouthful to say. Here she said, couldn't you have spent more time touring the plaza rather than showing us your face? No offense, but you missed a lot of features. So I think, one of the things I should say is that in terms of the first comment by this person called Sylvia English, wanted to see less of my face, and I'll share some of the footage with you here. And the overall experience for this viewer was one of boredom. Now, I should say that in terms of excitement, if you watch my videos on YouTube, again, unlike a Miley Cyrus video or a cute, fluffy pup video, these may not be exciting videos, and that's not the point necessarily to entertain. These are spaces of entertainment, but ironically enough, I may not necessarily be exciting in terms of my portrayal of what I'm showing you in these spaces, the analysis that I'm giving, and so forth. Likewise, I would offer to you that, in a sense, excitement is in the eye of the beholder. Another thing is that I would say, while I strive towards being more exciting rather than less exciting, I don't know if I'm successful in terms of that. So as you're watching these videos, and if they come across as boring, you could certainly fast forward through them. You can skip around. That's the joy of YouTube. You don't have to watch the whole thing. In fact, if you have a video channel like I do, and you look at your viewership report, sometimes it's a little depressing. I mean, Google, YouTube does amazing analytics, but then you look at the actual minutes watched versus, someone starts, the actual video. You sometimes see a disparity there, and it's a little bit depressing. Again, whether or not people watch a Miley Cyrus video from start to finish or a fluffy pup video from start to finish, I'm not sure, but that's one thing I might explain. So, as far as excitement, to the first person, I'm very sorry. I hope you find more exciting videos out there. If this is not your cup of tea, you can check out other videos. Who knows? I don't know what the person's particular interest is. And in terms of the second person, the Shirt Shine 73 Blitz, who also said, like the first, can you please show us more of the plaza rather than showing us your face? You missed a lot of features. So, one of the things you'll see in this Horton Plaza video is that I do feature some of the architecture. I show you some of the design aspects, but I'm certainly not going to show you everything. It's not a comprehensive video. It's not intended, any of my videos, to show you every aspect of a particular space. If you want that, you might go to YouTube or the web and Google, whatever the space you're looking for is, and you can see more still footage, you can see more video footage, maybe that doesn't feature any on-site commentary like my video footage does. And that being said, I should offer you this. When I'm shooting any of these videos, in particular, I'll show you here, I shot some videos at the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. When I'm shooting a video, what I do in some cases is I have two cameras. I'll have one camera, and it's kind of an operation to do this. I'll have my GoPro camera maybe focused this way on my face, and I have my other camcorder, my Sony camcorder like this. And one of the things I'm trying to do then is as I'm walking around, I'm trying to get my facial reactions, looking into a camera, and then I'm also trying to show you what I see on my first go around through a space. So it gives you more of that sense of discovery where I'm going to the space and it's like, what am I going to see here, what am I going to experience. In some cases I'm also doing voiceovers after the fact, I'm adding still photos. So not all of what I'm shooting is live, but if some of it is live, I try to give you that visceral reaction I might have when I first see a space and walk through it. So that's, I think, partially an explanation of what I'm trying to do in this video, and that's why you see my face to some extent when I'm going through spaces here like Horton Plaza. Now the other thing I'll say is that, we have an opportunity here to communicate with one another, and I actually appreciate the opportunities that you give me to reflect upon the spaces that I'm studying. And really I would say, ultimately, it comes upon you. You have an opportunity to think about the spaces, to interpret them, to offer your commentary in terms of the comments here on YouTube, or send me an email or whatever. I would also offer that as a social scientist, I pretty firmly believe in the idea of the dialogic approach. And that approach means that we communicate back and forth with one another, creating in a sense a circle like the one we talk about in science, where there's no final closure. So in other words, if I'm giving you my viewpoints in Horton Plaza here, it doesn't mean that that's a God's eye truth or anything like that. They're my viewpoints, they're my interpretations. Take them as you will, disagree with them, offer your own insights, and so forth. Now, at the same time, I would say, my reflection here gets a little political, but in 2017, in the era of the Trump presidency, where there's a lot of discord in society and a lot of disagreement, and you go anywhere in social media and there's trolls out there. And I'm not saying these two folks who offered their comments are trolls per se, but I think, there's an opportunity to go beyond that, to be a little bit bigger, perhaps, and to not just say, boring, so be it, but, go check out something else, and maybe resist that urge to write that comment to say that. Because I think in this era, we all have an opportunity to be a little nicer, right? To not just flame someone on the internet, to not just troll them because you disagree with them, or you happen across their video, you happen upon it, and you said, oh, this isn't my thing, I'm going to write a comment on it. Well, why were you there in the first place? Which is always my curiosity. Most of the folks who visit, my YouTube page, I think, are interested in the spaces and so forth. And I'm not saying anyone can come to the videos that I offer to you and offer their comments, but it's always, I guess, a bit of curiosity in my mind as to why someone even stumbles across these sites or these videos I offer to you, and why they see the urge to offer comments. But that being said, if I have a thick skin, I could certainly take it. I'm not saying you shouldn't offer commentary of any sort, but it would be better, I think, to offer constructive commentary, and then, if appropriate, one idea I actually had was I can offer a follow-up, and if a lot of people wanted more footage, and if I have them in my archives, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll shoot a second video that has less of my face and a little bit more of the actual site, if it's appropriate to what I'm trying to do. But that's all I wanted to say to respond to some of the folks who've given me some comments here, in this case, on my video of the Horton Plaza famous mall in San Diego, California. So that's all I have to say today. I hope you do offer your comments and insights, and that we can have a bit of a dialogic give and take in terms of looking at some of the fine themed and immersive spaces from around the world. So please do come back for additional video features of Immersive Worlds Handbook, and continue to offer that commentary on my videos as you see fit.